Hi, good morning everyone and welcome to my vlog. Today I'm gonna show you different types of instructional materials that are very essential and can aid students in learning. Aside from that, using this, it will make your classroom more conducive, interactive, and can encourage students' participation. Another advantage of using the instructional materials are, first, it can capture your students' attention and can stimulate their interest. Second, it will make your lessons more comprehensible. And lastly, these are very helpful in language teaching and instruction, for the reason that instructional materials can assist your students to hone their reading, speaking, and writing skills. But before that, let me introduce to you first what is instructional materials. These are materials that are animate or inanimate objects, or human or non-human resources that the teachers used in teaching and learning situation in order to achieve the desired learning objectives. So let's start. First is a graphic instructional materials in which I created a classification chart. In here, I chose the classification chart. Using the classification chart, the student will be able to classify or categorize objects or events. This will effectively help them place which category the things or words belong to. Moreover, charts can also be used to present summaries of the lessons or information. Just like here, they can easily classify these words to which function of logical connectors it must be placed. Aside from that, this will help the learners to think critically in placing the words accurately. Personally, making this chart was quite challenging because you need to be precise and see to it that it will capture the student's interest. You also need to make sure that the chart would cater to a big audience, hence this must be big as possible in order to be visible to all the students. The design must also be appealing and the content must be accurate to what you are discussing. Second is the visual instructional materials, in which I created flashcards. In here, I created flashcards. They are valuable materials for drill activities, particularly in teaching English. Flashcards are incredibly versatile study tool. They can be used for complex processes and allow you to repeat the act of learning and memorizing until your students become experts in the information. It can be an excellent tool for teaching students how to read and spell words. Also, it is effective in teaching complex lessons that students must need to master. I find it easy making these flashcards. However, it should be bear in mind that this should also be visible to all the students. So it must be big. If, for instance, flashcards can be hardly seen by some students, then as a result, teaching can be ineffective. Third is a computer-aided instructional materials in which I created a game. Games are fun. They can motivate and engage learners more in their classroom while creating a learning environment. Games also promote creative and lateral thinking to the students. It improves critical thinking skills as well as reading comprehension. I created this game because this will require the learners to use their higher thinking skills to understand, analyze the sentence, and find the suitable logical connectors that will complete each sentence. Aside from this, the game can stimulate their interest and increase focus because they need to quickly find and go to the correct lane that contains the right answer before the opponents catch them. I find making this game easy because there is this website, thewordwall.net, that already had a program or template of what type of game you will be using. So you will just need to choose what interactive game you want and fill out the necessary things or the questions that you need to put in the game. You can check also the website for your future references. Fourth is the audio materials, in which I created a voice recording.
Good morning, everyone. I am your teacher for today, Teacher Christine. Before we start with our new topic, I want you first to identify what is wrong with these sentences. I went to the beach. There were too many jellyfish.
Voice recording greatly help auditory learners. Aside from that, the amplified instructions can better capture a child's attention and suppress their sensitivity to the classroom's normal sounds and movements. Lastly, these materials can reduce a child's sensitivity to distractions. I find it hard to do voice recording because you must need to ensure that there will be no unnecessary background noise or technical glitches in the recording. Also, your enunciation must be clear and intelligible, and there are much expression and enthusiasm in order to capture the student's attention and for them to understand what you are talking about. Fifth is the projected instructional materials, in which I created a PowerPoint presentation. I chose to create a PowerPoint, as this is a common instructional material that is used in the classroom. This is very helpful for visual learners. It can also aid the students understand the targeted language since the lessons are being projected. Hence, it requires them to read the content, and from this, they have the opportunity to understand more the topic. This is also convenient for both the teachers and the students. Teachers will just project relevant topics to be tackled sequentially and briefly. On the other hand, students can easily follow what the teacher is presenting. I find making the PowerPoint presentation quite easy since I'm already exposed to doing stuff like this, especially when I was in high school. We often asked to do reporting using the PowerPoint presentation. However, there are also things to be considered in making it. First, the content must be accurate and relevant to the topic. Second, the design, pictures, and colors must be appealing. Lastly, the text should be readable and visible. Sixth is a 3D instructional materials, in which I created a puppet. Using puppetry, it can capture the student's interest. Moreover, this is an excellent medium to help the students develop their emotional aspect and grow their language and communication skills. Making a puppet was challenging because you must be creative in order to stimulate the interest of the students. In here, I created the puppet Arjuna of Mahabharata, the third of the 5 Pandava brothers, most accomplished in the art of war and meditation, and he is considered to be the greatest of all archers. Seventh is the display instructional materials, in which I created a bulletin board. Bulletin boards are an important component of classrooms. They provide a way to introduce new material or display student work. Moreover, they broaden the sensory experience of the learners, intensify impressions and vitalize instructions, and supplement and correlate information. Making a bulletin board was difficult since I am not creative and I didn't have any idea what are the contents needed to put. However, as a future educator, I must exhaust all my means to learn how to create an interactive and creative bulletin board. And lastly, the print instructional materials in which I created a handout.
Handouts are effective in organizing and summarizing the lesson. The students can be able to see clearly where the information fits in the overall picture. It also clarifies the topic being discussed. Moreover, it will help prevent students from distractions from what you are saying. It makes errors and note-taking less likely, giving students a reliable reference for learning. From the design, layout to the content, it must be precise and relevant to the topic. Also, the designs and layout must be student-friendly and can stimulate their interest. Making a handout was quite difficult. From the design, layout to the content, it must be precise and relevant to the topic. Also, the designs and layout must be student-friendly and can stimulate their interest.
And that's it! I hope you learned something new with the help of this vlog. Thank you and goodbye!
Now it's time to say goodbye.